Hey everybody, welcome back to the Build Show Network. Steve Basic Architect here, and today we're out at the Modern Farmhouse. So I'm standing in the four-season room, and today we're going to talk about multi-slide doors. What is a multi-slide door? Well, your typical sliding glass door is you unlatch it and you slide it, and this 3-foot panel moves in front of the other 3-foot panel, and you have a 3-foot opening. But that's nice, certainly. But what if we want to get that opening bigger? Well, multi-slide. And what a multi-slide is basically one panel, 2, 3, and in front of the fourth. So those 3 panels slide and park in front of the 4th panel. So that 12-foot door yields basically a little over a 9-foot opening, or right around 9-foot opening there. So in the summertime, when you're having your barbecue and your parties and people are here congregating, well, we can move freely across from the deck into the screen and porch or four-season room. I say screen and porch because we actually do have a screen system that gets attached to the outside of this. It just isn't installed at this point. But wanted to show you that multi-slide. So it gives you that nice big opening. And when we have 2 of them here in the wall, we're going to have about 18 feet of basically open air space to move out freely across that deck and in for our parties. And then at night, when it gets a little chilly, well, we just come over, we grab those doors, slide it over, and we still get that nice panoramic view. We're just getting it through those 4 doors. So let's jump back. We'll go back to the studio. I'll pull out some drawings and we'll talk about some of the specifications and some of the things that need to happen when you're installing these type of doors. So I'll see you back at the studio.
All right, what can I say? All right, who doesn't like a multi-slide? So those Marvin doors are beautiful out there. They're going to last a very long time. They're going to provide many parties. A lot of people are going to be walking in and out of those doors, thoroughly enjoying that screen and porch. But before it became a reality, we had to do some thinking. So I broke out some of the drawings here. You know, my good friend Big Red is going to join us, and we're going to talk about some thinking. So let's have at it. All right. So here is a partial plan. This is out at that screen porch. You saw me, I was standing right here messing around with that one multi-slide. Like I said, this is a screen porch for the project. We have a multi-slide here. We have one here. We have one there. We have one on the back side so we can look out at that beautiful pool house. And then we have a regular slider here, which is pretty much the in and out door, right? Everybody needs that one that you run in and out of all the time. And then a window here with some associated cabinetry. But these multi-slides here, these are 4-panel that all move to one side so that we yield this opening for viewing. And then on this side, we have the opposite hand, so it's 4 panels that stack there so that we get that viewing. So these are 12-foot and change units, but they basically yield right around 9 feet here. So that's 18 feet of view down off that beautiful deck and out that porch. We have another 12-footer here. Because this one doesn't have an opposite hand to it, we chose to make this a double multi-slide. So we have 2 there and 2 here, and basically the 2 middle panels stack on the end and they open for a 6-foot opening, right? So they split in the middle and stack. So you basically have 2 stationary panels as opposed to the 1 stationary panel. And then on the flip side here, we're back to that 4-panel multi-slide that all stacks in the corner there and gives us that 9-foot opening here. So little 3-foot opening there. So when I add these all up, you get 27, 33, 36 feet. That's 36 feet of opening for the screen-in porch. Not a bad little feel, given that that's 3264, 2484. So it's almost half of the wall we have the ability to open up and transpose this space from this closed unit, conditioned unit, to open, airy, screened-in porch. We have some ceiling lines in there you saw. We didn't really talk about them to accentuate the views and give that screen porch feel. But there are a couple things that I wanted to talk about before we cut out from the studio here. You see here, it's only 12 feet, but we have 3 14-inch LVL headers on there. And that's not me guessing. That's my structural engineer doing his diligence and doing an exceptional job, as he always does. And you look at that and you just might say, oh my God, that's a pretty beefy header for a 12-foot opening. The thing about this is, whenever you're dealing, and these are Marvin brand multi-slide units, but it's across the board, whether you're using Nanowall or Anderson or Sierra Pacific, any of them. When you're dealing with these multi-slide units that kind of get in excess of 6 or 7 feet, that beam and that 12 feet, the deflection of that beam was limited to less than 1/8 of an inch. Right? So we basically had to put a beam in there that wasn't going to move, right? Regardless of if we have snow on the roof, wind, any of that stuff. That beam can't be putting any pressure on that multi-slide unit, if this is the floor or the header, but it can't be exerting any downward pressure on that multi-slide door. The only way to stay within the warranty parameters of that door is to ensure that we have a header that manages the deflection to that level. So that's why you see these. All of these are 3 14-inch LVLs. This one didn't need it quite as, that's a 6-inch opening, but to align all of the headers, we just put the 3 in there, and we did 2 here, but we still did the 14-inch. And that's just, working it out with Brian and talking it through. The framers there are just dealing with one vertical dimension to set everything against. So that way their jacks and everything are all cut to the same size. So before we go, let's just take a quick peek, because I also printed out a section here so you can see that screen-in porch from a different view. But so there's those 3 14-inch LVLs, right? This is the floor of the screen-in porch. We actually have a garage underneath there that gets access out and a walkout on the other side there. But we have our 3 14-inch there, and then here is our multi-slide door, and here is our multi-slide door there that we saw. And again, that deflection down here limited to 1/8 of an inch or less. So that's about as strict as you get. And then to finish off the room, we have this nice cathedralized ceiling, and then we have some ceiling joists here that go across. So anyways, that's everything about the multi-slide door and the screen-in porch. So there you have it. Big Red is not dead, but he is done. So that's it for this week's video, folks. Screen-in porch, multi-slide doors. Marvin did a beautiful job. They look beautiful. They're going to perform for years and years. Of course, Brian did a beautiful job out there. So that's it. If you're looking for more from me, Got all kinds of great videos out there. I try and spread the content around, from architecture to planning to building science, all those good concepts. Mix it up a little. So we got a very wide spectrum of what happens in every day here at the studio. So trying to share some of that with you. If you want more of that, you can find me on Instagram, Steve Basic Architect. My daughter Alexandra, who works with me. And it's a privilege having one of your children actually follow in your footsteps. So I'm very grateful for that. But go check her out on Instagram too. Give her a follow. We're dropping knowledge all the time. We're sharing stuff. And then lastly, every other week on Build It Podcast, my good friends Peter Yost, Jake Bruton, we're dropping knowledge all the time. On there, we're taking some complex building concepts and breaking them down. We offer our opinions. Those guys try and bully me, but I fight back. What can you do? In today's world, you got to stand for something, right? Anyways, that's all we got for this week. Until next time, long live our buildings.